Hello and welcome back to another episode. Now, today is Christmas Eve. We've got around 24 hours to go before Christmas morning. And I really wanted to film a little video just talking about, I suppose, one of my favourite Christmases of all time. Now, as an adult, I have certain Christmas routines, certain Christmas traditions which I've built up, and in the past few years, actually, one of them has been to watch the Happy Console Gamer Christmas special. It's always heartwarming seeing Johnny and Rob swap presents, but also as well, actually, hearing them tell stories. And this year was a story video all about their favourite Christmas mornings, and I thought, that's brilliant, and that's really nice. So why not try and share some of this love, and I'll tell my own Christmas story. Now, obviously, I've got lots of different Christmas stories. I'm 30 years old. I've had 29, 30 odd Christmases, but this particular Christmas morning that I want to talk about was, well, very special because it can be summed up with three characters, and those three characters are a 4, an N, and a 6. Yes, the N64. Now, we were about a year late in getting hold of this machine. All of our friends had the N64 for a whole year, I think since the previous Christmas. So me and my brother were just chomping at the bit to get hold of this next generation, this new console. And because of that, actually, apparently, and I don't remember feeling like this, but apparently we were really actually quite patient. We spent the whole year getting the absolute last bits of goodness out of our Mega Drive, really milking that thing, playing things like Sonic 3D, playing any sort of last minute release that came on the Mega Drive, so that we didn't feel as though we were missing out too much. But I do remember privately, even if my mum didn't know it, privately thinking, I need an N64. You know, my friends were there playing things like GoldenEye, and this felt like realistic. This felt real. This was the next thing. This was 3D, and we were just hoping, beyond hope, that we'd get an N64 for Christmas. Now, I'm not ashamed to say, growing up, we weren't the richest household. In fact, we're not at the moment. My wife and I aren't exactly rolling in cash, but we were hoping. And every Christmas Eve, me, my mum and my brother had this tradition of essentially decorating the house the night before Christmas. I think Mum wanted it to be fresh and new and festive for Christmas morning, something to wake up to. So we went to bed having no idea what was going to be our present for this Christmas. So my brother and I were trying our best to get some sleep while Mum was downstairs doing the final preparation for Christmas. We'd done some decorations, but she was putting the finishing touches on the tree and then laying out the presents, presumably. And also, of course, there was an element of Santa still in our lives, so we were waiting for him too. Now, we thought we were being really good and really quiet, but actually we were excited, we were hyper, we were really looking forward to Christmas morning. So we'd be tiptoeing between each other's rooms across this really creaky landing. And also, creaky landings, I'm sure we've all had this experience, it's like Indiana Jones. You feel as though you're tiptoeing across a booby-trapped temple. We weren't very successful, but we avoided most of the worst creaks. Anyway, we're trying our best to be quiet, trying our best to give the impression of being fast asleep. Whispering and chittering and talking about what's waiting for us downstairs. We're so excited. But we definitely did eventually get to sleep. And we woke up around about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and we just couldn't take it anymore. This is Christmas morning, it's good enough, we've done our duty, we've gone to sleep, let's go downstairs. And we thought Mum had gone to bed, but she hadn't. She was actually downstairs, slumped on the chair, fast asleep. She'd gone to sleep, having worked so hard to make Christmas morning special. So we woke up, we went downstairs, we accidentally woke her up as we creaked the living room door open. Everything creaks on Christmas morning. And she was, oh, hello boys, hello, Merry Christmas. And before us was a fascinating pile of stuff, things wrapped in in lovely wrapping paper, separated out as always. The two brothers always had to have separate piles. But the highlight was in the middle of the room, and that was a beautiful N64 set up and ready to go. You could see the demo for a certain game rotating on the screen, as it were, going through the cycle on the screen. And the N64 itself, I'm fairly sure, had a nice big ribbon wrapped around it and a bow. And so did the two controllers, both had a ribbon wrapped around them. And we just went nuts. We went bananas. Now obviously this is the time before wireless controllers, so over the course of the morning there were cables, there was wrapping paper, there was chocolate, there was all sorts of stuff that's just mingling like some sort of Christmas writhing squid mess on the floor. But we couldn't believe how lucky we were and how exciting the N64 was. I think we got the two games we got, because again it wasn't the first Christmas that it had come out, but we got Super Mario, I think that came with the console, and we also got GoldenEye. And for months I had been going to my friend's house and experiencing GoldenEye and thinking, this is like realism, this is realistic. And I actually remember saying to my mum, look, I don't care what comes next in terms of consoles. Obviously I didn't know that things like the N64 would give way to things like the 360 and the PS4 or whatever. But at that point I was like, I don't care, I don't care what comes next, I just need GoldenEye. And there it was. So Paul and I were fragging and shooting and chasing each other around the Aztec level, and well, possibly not the Aztec level actually, I think you have to unlock that, but it's such a blur of joy. We certainly were chasing each other around the facility and having an amazing Christmas. I remember marvelling at the 3D world that Mario inhabited now, the Bow Wow being a big ball that actually went for you on that first level. Jumping through the paintings in Peach's castle was beautiful. The ripple effect that you had with Mario. I always just try and do a backflip through the painting, so you have to sort of position Mario in a certain way and then jump and try and backflip through. It was a magical Christmas morning, and it's precisely the morning which I suppose I was hoping for, but I had no idea I'd be getting. And that's the best kind of Christmas. It's a Christmas where you don't spoil it, you don't necessarily bug someone overly for one thing and therefore you know roughly what you're getting. It could have been anything that Christmas morning, but it was an N64 and that was the main present. And I don't remember, sadly I don't remember what the other presents were that morning, because essentially, yes, okay, we opened them and then we piled them back up again and we got straight back into playing on our lovely, shiny, beautiful N64. And I'm pretty sure Mum had a coffee, trying to stay awake, but then failed miserably and went to sleep on the couch for pretty much the rest of the morning. But we were fine, we were safe, we were happy. It was a wonderful Christmas morning. It's so hard to explain the excitement surrounding the release of this console. The N64 was such a jump in terms of 3D graphics. Friends of mine had PlayStations which had never really impressed me, but the N64 had a certain texture to it which was just very pleasing. I remember in particular, for example, on GoldenEye, the menus, the fact that you had these dossiers and the gun sight was your selector on the menus. It felt innovative. The texture on the paper, for example, felt well, it felt like sort of like paper. I know it doesn't look like paper to our eyes now, but at the time it felt different. It wasn't just a flashing press start, it was a new way of interacting because they had this extra processing power of the console. It's odd that the menus stand out in my mind. The menus, of course, are not obviously just the gameplay itself. The music from the facility level, wonderful, and the sound of, you know, when you're going through the different gateways with that truck, and then you have to open the second gate and then snipe someone. I just, oh, it's just so many good memories. But it's so hard to encapsulate what that console meant to us at that point. And I don't think any console released since or before has been quite the same for us. No, sorry, not even release. Getting that console, as I say, we were late to the party. I don't think any console coming into our lives has meant, or my life has meant quite so much to me before or since. So hopefully many of you have had a Christmas morning similar to that, a really exciting childlike Christmas. And I don't know about you, but this year I'm going to do my best to enjoy Christmas in a similar way. Now, that's not to me, I don't mean to say that I'm going to be getting up mega early, waking up my wife and my in-laws. No, that'd just be rude. But I really want to just enjoy giving, receiving, laughing, joking, sharing. And hopefully this year Christmas won't just rush past, because as an adult, the day, and actually as a child even, the day is often over before you know it. And this year I'm really hoping to come down tomorrow morning, sit next to the tree and just enjoy Christmas morning. It's going to be wonderful with the presents under the tree. I wonder what, for example, is in this one. And also there's a really big one down here, but I can't pick it up. Anyway, hopefully whatever you're up to this festive season, you're having or will have a lovely time. And here's to just really enjoying the moment, celebrating life in the middle of, well, the winter in the north or the summer in the southern hemisphere, and enjoying family and friends and looking forward to a new year. So whatever this time of year holds for you, here's hoping it's all good. As ever, guys, until next time, do take care. And from me, at least here, Merry Christmas.